guys want to start joking now?
Always.
Go on, At least you got it for a good 15 minutes before we even started. Go on.
Oh, when you're ready, mate.
Chris is my guy, so
I'm just here.
we were just wondering what
Make the tracksuit was. Yeah.
I don't.
Doesn't have a label.
I mean, it probably does, but yeah, I don't check.
It probably does. Oh, okay.
And then also like the badge in terms of what it means.
Yeah, we'd wonder if you knew, because I was saying sometimes you pay for a club and you want to know what the meaning behind the badge is.
Like our tracksuit's Nike,
Yeah.
so we know what
Brand it is.
Yeah, we know what Nike's about.
And we know the meaning behind the badge. The meaning behind the badge is that's from someone created the club.
we
You
just
know?
asked
So we wanted to know if you knew what the make of the tracksuit was. You know the meaning of the badge. Interesting, isn't it?
I mean, it's got. Is it a horse?
We don't know.
I think it's a horse.
Yeah, it's not our club.
And it's got Latin, I believe.
Okay.
So, it must be very historic.
I'm gonna sweat.
Oh, God. Oh,
Hey, that's brilliant.
brilliant. Smudge.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
No,
A pleasure.
again, big shout out to Chris as well.
Yes.
This has been in the making for a few months.
I don't know why, but it's just me.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, we're going to go straight into it. So, you are playing for Hollington right now?
Yes.
Are you enjoying the journey?
Yes.
Are we going to be doing one-word answers?
The thing is, my next answer is no.
So, probably the last time that I saw you on a football pitch. No, tell a lie.
No.
No. Yeah.
Each other.
I know. Yeah.
It's that tracksuit. Losing that tracksuit might be able to remember stuff.
Were you starting that game?
Wow.
Whoa.
No. It's because I can't remember you
Did he start?
on the pitch. I started.
Oh, you started that game.
Sometimes power and effectiveness doesn't need to be seen. So, yes, I did start that game to Greece.
Okay.
Did I start?
That's a great answer.
Did you start that game? I think you did. No, did you?
I did start. No, I didn't. I don't think I did.
That's not asked to you because T can't even know what about.
Well, I mean, literally, Chris doesn't start.
I think I was unwell.
I'm not there, so.
Yeah, Chris hasn't been there.
Do you think Chris can actually get into Hollington
I'm not saying this because he's sitting beside me. Yes, of course.
ahead of you?
We play in different positions.
True.
This is easy.
We can go. Sure.
This is easy.
So, okay, so yeah, the game before the Hollington game, probably the last game I saw you play was the LSU final against Summers. And unlucky to LSU, Summers won the London Cup. But why did you think at that junction it was time for you to move?
When I joined LSU Masters or the first team or the A team, it was I was going for a transitional period into football. So I'd played for the C team, I'd played for the B team, and then obviously I became a member of the Masters. But I'd not long played football coming out of the journey I was currently in prior to meeting back with friends and other footballers and stuff like that. So I was actually playing for another team that my cousin asked me to play for, but I wanted to train. So the manager of that team, shout out Kevin, shout out Mayfair, that's what they called it. He said that I can go training for this team called LSU. Remember, I knew nothing about the Vets game then. So when I went training in Crystal Palace, do you remember Crystal Palace?
Crystal Palace.
I saw the Masters training separately, and I knew a few of the players. And I just watched them for a while before we started to train at the C's and the B's team, and I was like, that's where I want to be once I get fit. At the time, I think I was like 16 stone. I hadn't played football for like 13 years and things like that. So I was like, that's where I want to be. So when I got myself fitter and more able, I then got my opportunity to played for the Masters. But then after the final, going back to the question, after that final, it was just right. I'd done what I needed to do in my own achievement in playing there. It was nothing to do with the final, and I know some people out there may think it was what happened after the final, but it was nothing to do with that. I was happy. I was achieved with what I'd done, and it was just time. It just felt right. So yeah, that's. What was your question again?
No, but literally, yeah, that was the question.
Yeah, so you just felt that. So what you're saying is you just felt that obviously you reached that time, that you had your time there, and you just thought now was the time to move on.
Yeah, I mean, without going into too many details, I'm sure every player in every club can go into nooks and crannies and in between bits that they have throughout seasons with players and management and stuff like that. Without going into none of that, but for me, I just felt it was right.
Yeah.
I'd done what I needed to do for myself. Like I said, I go back 2 years prior to that, when I watched them train, I was like, that's where I want to be. And I got there, and I became a starting player in that team, and we went on to have great moments. I went on to have great moments. The team went on to have great moments. Like, shout out Lodi, he's a great guy. Like, he's got a heart of gold, that guy, So it was just time. I was ready. I was ready.
I get it.
Something different, something new. Yeah.
So, because correct me if I'm wrong. Well, actually, no. So, LSU are current league champions.
Yeah.
So, and you was part of that squad.
Yes.
Yeah, we was.
Yeah. Sorry. I keep looking at you, Smudge.
sorry.
Sorry. Sorry. You know what?
Yeah,
Apologies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. We was.
Yeah.
His tracksuit's tight.
I'm sorry.
He's losing focus. Yeah, he's losing focus.
Sorry. No, but actually, you know what? Like not the pennies drop, but both of you used to. Yeah. So LSU and both of you have gone to Hollington.
Yeah.
So like, it kind of.
We asked Chris that question as well.
I've already asked Chris that question.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
And I just and I literally just said the exact same thing. My reply to that, when T asked me that, my reply was, I just felt that I reached my
really?
time there. Yeah. So
So if it will look like we've scripted that.
no, but we haven't. Like you just said, you haven't seen the show,
Yeah.
and I just basically said the same thing. Obviously, I was there for 3 years.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't get a chance to play in the final myself, but I just felt
you
that
wasn't there, was you?
I missed the final. But like I was saying, I felt that I just got to a stage where after 3 years, I felt like I did what I could do for the team. So that's when I just turned around and said, you know what, now I need to look for a next journey.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons. So, kind of like what you just said. Mine was similar. So
Yeah, because I suppose people who want shows like this to be very controversial and stuff, and want to know certain things like this and that, so like what happened afterwards, and is that why you left, or no, it was just time. It was just the right time.
So when you say what happened afterwards, because you've said that twice.
No.
No, I'm listening, because again, let's be absolutely real here. Out of us three, I don't have a career that you guys have had. Yeah. So let's be absolutely clear. So there's certain things that you guys would stand for that I probably won't within the footballing realm. So when you've spoke about it twice, about something that happened after the football game, then something must have triggered you to say, okay, you know what, it's time for me to look for another path with another team. And you don't have to answer it as well, but you've mentioned it twice.
See, this is why I didn't want to come on your show. All this controversy
it's
stuff.
not. The thing is, I don't think. No, but I that's not even what Smudge is saying.
Yeah.
But not going on what happened with Smudge, but in the football journey, I'm assuming that won't be the main part of your transition into another team. It may play a part, but I wouldn't say, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. You know what I mean? So I'm only speaking of what I can assume someone would think of what they would do. So I can imagine people have made moves because of, as you say, some stuff happened, but it won't be the be all and end all why they make the move. Like you said, come to the end of it and just move on.
I probably said that twice because there may be people out there that thought I may have left
For that reason.
regarding that situation, and it's not the case. It's more deeper level. There's more, and it's morely mine. It's mine. It's not anyone else's because of. It's morely mine. See,
100%.
with Vets football, I find Vets football is probably one of the most difficult places to even manage and play in out of every football situation. It's just a strange place.
It is a different environment.
Very different. Yeah.
It's wild. Not even the football. But
Would you say that's because, like, I totally agree. I think it is. Would you say that's because, barring some players, but most of the players are played at a certain level, and which makes it quite controversial? Or do you think it's or not controversial, but a different sort of place because of that it just being Vets football? Or
I think I hear this a lot sometimes that, you know, football's my therapy. And it's my therapy, which, you know, just try and let me land, but that's quite dangerous, because therapy should be your therapy, and that's the only place for it. See, football should be an outlet, but it should be a source that you incorporate into your life for some benefit, some relief. Like I said, like a source, but it's not. It shouldn't. Well, I say it shouldn't be, but just think about it not being your therapy, because ultimately you don't control the space, like a therapy session would, or you could. There's so many other people involved, and the game itself. So you've got people in your own team, you've got management, and then you've got the other team and their management and fans, where you're not in control of that situation. So to hear some people say, "Oh, it's my therapy," or, you know, this is my space, it's technically it's not. It's a space for everyone. So and I would want anyone maybe listening to this who feels like, you know, they've got to a certain age, like a vet's age, and, you know, this is just be mindful of, like, what do they call it? Maybe like a spiritual ego. And see, the ego is a wonderful and weird and wonderful, horrible, great, special thing, and it can evolve and adapt itself in many forms. See, a lot of people, I'll give you an example just to relate it back to me, so they don't think I'm talking about LSU, because I'm not. But say, like, I was going to the gym and training to try and be the best version of myself for Vets football. And then my friend, shout out Jamie, reminded me, he was like, "Yeah, but why are you training for football? You should be training for yourself and your life. Football should get the benefit from that, not training because you're back playing football, and especially Vets football, Smudge." And I was like, oh, that makes sense, because he said, what if I lose on Saturday? Then what? You're not going to go to gym Sunday, Monday? You're going to be low and depressed? Yes, you're going to have normal human emotions and feelings about losing the game, but is that just going to ruin everything of your training method because you lost? Or what if you turn up and you've trained all week, you turn up your sub? Then what?
Yeah.
Then, and that's the spiritual ego that people may get caught in by depending on the football Saturday to be their therapy or to be their source of. It's an outlet. It should be an outlet. You should be your therapy, and then you should find a space for yourself, because you're the one that matters most to you. I hope that means something.
Yes.
No, I totally agree. I know exactly what you're saying. I think some people forget that there's so many other factors in football that can affect your so-called therapy.
Yeah.
And like you just said, I think you're 100% spot on with the you don't control every scenario, because anything can happen within the football game in that moment, which then can affect you, which then in a therapy session is totally different, because you're now just in a one-to-one setting where you're able to control it a bit better, because you're able to deal with what's going on.
Yeah.
Where in a match, anything can, one precise thing can happen,
And it's not even in the match.
No, but that's something like it could be in the match,
Before the
it could be out
match.
in the match,
After
wherever it
the
is.
match,
But
it could be
people,
anything.
because what people are talking about is, I'm assuming is, people say it's their therapy because they're talking about going out and playing. So the reason why I talk about it being within the match is because that's what they're talking about. They're talking about going onto the pitch, playing football is a release, it's a therapy and da-da-da-da. No, you're right. In some ways it is a release because you're able to go on and forget about things for 2 hours. That's what the release is. But being a therapy is not necessarily the therapy, because sometimes in therapy you're actually talking about what the issues are.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
you can't do that in a game.
No.
How do you walk into a pitch carrying all that stuff that you got, and then going onto the pitch and looking to perform, but expecting the man next to you to know that you've got something going on, and then now to perform as well? Because if I've got something going on, but I'm expecting Sponge to do something, you don't do it. You've now affected my emotions.
My-
do you get what I mean? My
yeah.
energy in that, because I'm now expecting you to do something, but I
Exactly,
can't do that.
and that's the spiritual ego, is that it will what was I going to say? It will wrap itself around good things, and it's ultimately, because remember, the ego wants to live, it doesn't want to go, and throughout your journey, the more awareness you have of yourself, the more you get to control it rather than it controlling you,
man.
and it doesn't want to leave.
A few years ago, he was homeless.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, I'm fine.
Could you please talk to us? And again, sorry for if I've kind of brought anything up that actually might, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to kind of pull you back into certain situations where like it's not right for anyone that's even watching as well. But also as well, I kind of want to make sure that this is an inspiring story as well. So could you take us back to probably one of your moments where you were really struggling in that situation, and literally how has that moment in your life shaped you now as a man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that you felt that emotion just then.
100%, bro.
No, I'm not hoping that you felt it, but I'm sure you sensed it.
I understood.
Yeah.
I understood because I've been there as well. So.
Yeah, so then you know.
Especially in the football way that you're talking about it, so I got it.
It was real, and that's why you may have felt that from me, because it's a real thing that happened. You know, I was actually homeless, and 2017, I was like, what the fuck? Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, well, that's cool.
I've just done it.
I can't edit. I'm not editing.
2017, I was homeless. Yeah, sleeping rough. It was a wild moment, and it was a lot. It was wild. It was a lot. However, I mean, obviously, talking what we now, 8 years, 9 years on. I don't know how many years we are. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 7 years on. It was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me, because I've managed to lose a lot of things during that time, internally, mentally, which has enabled me to be the person now. I know you may hear that on social media stories and stuff like that, you know, when someone goes through something and they're like, yeah, it's maybe the person who I am now, you know, that typical story. But no, but to add more context of it, like, I've lost the fear of things. I say that, and I've declined coming on the show many times. But I have lost fear of things. I've lost the generational hand-me-downs that parents give children, that grandparents give our parents, and our parents give us. For example, like, you know, I don't know, the fear of money, for example. You know, we're taught, you know, that we're never gonna have enough or be enough or stuff like that. You know, today I'm still on. Everyone's still on their own journey, but you know, I'm not homeless now. I'm not on substances anymore. I'm not things like that. So I'm enough. Today I feel enough.
Well
Today
done,
I'm
man.
enough. And yeah, but to go back to that particular moment, it was strange as well to find myself there, because prior to that things were, from the outset, people would think that things were really good with me, like my childhood, and they were actually, like my childhood was great, my upbringing was good, played football, stuff like that, and you know, I was quite successful in everything that I was in, really. You know, football kind of slowed down, and then I went into doing stuff, and that was successful as well. But it's the internal that the people don't see, that no one really sees. That was really, really eating me up, and no one was knowing. And yeah, I was homeless, man. It got to the point where I was homeless, on my own, homeless, sleeping rough on the streets. Yeah, crazy. And one of my spots was actually a park near my mum and dad's house. Like literally the park next to my mum and dad's house. And it was quite ironic because my mum and dad had worked really hard growing up, and you know, I lived in a very nice house in Beckenham, and my mum and dad still have the house now. That was the childhood home I grew up in. Moving from Fulton Heath, because my dad was like, no, he doesn't want the boys, because I got a brother. Growing up in South Norwood or Fulton Heath, like no disrespect, South Norwood or Fulton Heath, obviously, but he wanted more for his boys, so we moved to Beckenham, and my mum and dad worked really hard. They have very good jobs. Still working now, to be fair. I don't know why they do that. They should
Just chill, innit?
People just, it's just in the DNA, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
It's in the
100%.
DNA. It's in the DNA.
I'm like, why? Just chill. But yeah, and then, you know, like, I had my own washing facilities in my room growing up and things like that. Like, it's still there to this day. And yeah, I found myself in the local park for weeks on end. My parents didn't even know I was in there. Sleeping rough, they didn't know where I was at the time. Well, no one did. Things like that. It was strange. Anything you want me to more add to that?
No. Look, listen, it's powerful, man. Like to hear back on that. Like some people, like one thing I think before I started going to look at myself, I think me and you had that conversation. Is when we had I think one time I really looked into myself is when me and you had our chat in the CAF at, I think near your house. And me and you had a chat, and I think when you broke down to me about all the stuff and everything like that, and I was just like, it made me think to myself, I look at myself, I've got it hard. But then I was like, no, but hear me out, let me land.
Yeah.
Let me land, right? But then it was like, after I looked, it was like, right, let me now look into myself and what I can do to do better. And it gave me the power within myself to go and seek the help.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's not, and that's not even a joke, because like when we were talking about the therapy thing, I put off that for a while, because I was like, there's nothing I could do, you know, it is what it is, it's within you, whatever. Like you said, people can't see it. You hide it for so well, like you hide it so well and whatever. And it was eating me up and stuff like that, and then it was only when we had our chat, and I was just like, do you know what? Not just for myself, but for my missus, let me go and seek help and sort something out, because it's not, I just realised it's not just affecting me, it's affecting everyone else around me as well. And I was just like, you know what? And that's why I feel like it's refreshing to hear and so powerful to hear when you speak about it, because it is and that's why I say that when like you're going to say, oh no, but when I look at myself and I think, or other people might look and think, right, we've got it hard, but nothing compared to what someone like yourself has been through. Do you know what I mean? And to come out of the other side of it is really, really great to see. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm going to see what I can do, because I don't want, not go down that road, but I mean as in like, I need to make sure that I give my best version to everyone else as well as myself. Not just everyone else, more myself. Yeah. I didn't feel like I was giving my best version to myself. So after, like I said, when we had that little chat in the cafe, I was like, yeah,
Really?
I definitely, yeah,
I
bro.
didn't
Just
know that. And
no,
I don't need to know.
no, you don't. No, but the thing
And
is,
that's the beauty of that.
yeah, that's it, bro. That's something you could talk to people, and then you just take bits away. You're always learning.
Yeah.
You're always learning. People say you're learning a coaching journey, but you're learning in life.
Because the reason why I suppose that conversation arose that time in the cafe, I remember it now.
Remember
It
that?
was good food.
Yeah, when we was at LSU.
Good food. Oh, so
No,
how,
nice, it's nice food. It's
how
nice.
come I wasn't invited?
No Catford, but
No brand.
in it.
What is that? No, but what I'm saying is, the reason, I suppose, I know, I can't look at it. But I suppose the reason why maybe that conversation arose naturally is because it will meet subconsciously in spaces. And why I'm saying that, if I relate it back to football, with vets football, things will meet subconsciously around the person or around the people that you're with, and that can really decide things like if you stay at a club, or if you go there, or if you go, because there are things that meet prior to even talking or prior to even
Connections
meeting
in it, man.
on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It could have met even in the morning. And you know, you've been in the game long enough, you might have players in your head and you're thinking, what is this? Like, what is this thing that you have? Or what is this? You know, a lot of people, one of the in words right now is energy, for example. And it's a real thing. Energy is a real thing. I tend not to use it that much because people, it's kind of used, it's kind of
Overused.
played out.
It's overused.
But it's a real actual thing. So I say, when we went to the cafe before the game, you know, it meets, and if it feels
Right.
if it feels right, then all of a sudden we're
It
in
becomes
that,
natural.
we're in
Like
that
you said, it
space
just becomes natural.
of doing that. So I'm glad you went on.
No, come on, bro. Like, I feel like I said, like, it just felt, for me, yes, it felt normal, but at the same time, it felt very powering, because I always felt, I think what it was, the turning point for me was I always felt hard to speak about things. That was one of my biggest issues, was talking about anything. Could be about how I'm feeling, could be about money, could be about how my day was. I felt so hard in myself to say, I can't do that. Because obviously I felt that it was a weakness. Then, what the turning point was to hit, when we spoke, how freely you spoke about it, and how it showed how much of a difference it has made on you as a person. I was like, I sat back and thought, right, if Smudge can tell me about that, why can't I just now go and tell someone how I'm feeling? Do you get what I mean? And I know it's not as easy as that, but that's what helped me a lot, because I was like, that was kind of a big turning point for me.
But there must have been a reason. There must have been a thing that was happening, because I don't go around telling everyone I meet.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, guess what? I went through this. I went through that. I don't do that. I never have, and I will never just go around places.
I think we...
But something. But when you say talk about, it's normally something, because you could talk about what's from your head, or you could talk about
what's from your heart.
What's from your heart, which is
Yeah.
feelings and emotions. See, if you access that place, then there's something where you felt safe enough
to speak about
to
it.
do that, knowing that I've lost the fear in speaking about mine, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, of course.
So I'm sure, because like I said, I don't go around going, oh yeah.
No, you don't. No, that's something I'm not saying that.
There must have been a safety part of that space where you was like, do you know what? I feel like I can access it.
Yeah, I did. Just from that moment.
Yeah.
When we spoke about it.
But yeah, man, I'm that's really comforting to hear. That's
Come on, man.
good for you, man.
Oh, thank you, man.
I mean, again, we like spoke about your like story and exactly how I'm right now, speechless. Does that mean, but literally, in a kind of positive way, I was speechless, because seeing where you are now,
Massive.
it's massive.
It's a wild job. It's still wild, but yeah, it's things are different, and yeah, it's really good, man. Things are different. It's really, really good. It's nice. The awareness of myself.
Good.
It's because it's the awareness, you know. A lot of people wanna go on a self journey or inner journey and hit targets of goals and things. But the only real goal is more awareness of self.
Mm.
The more awareness you have of yourself in everything, that's kind of the key. Because during that time in 2017 and a few years leading up to that, and a few years after that, actually, a year or two after that, that wasn't the end. Being homeless, I thought it would be the end, but it wasn't. Homeless shelter, getting sectioned. Rehab was before that, but getting sectioned and homeless shelter, that was all after being homeless. So the awareness of self hadn't started yet. I was still unaware of what was going on for me. And today I feel like I have more of it, hence why I'm here, and hence why I have my sobriety, and hence why I have family, and hence why, I do the job I do and the career I do, and hence why I can be around people, and there's more awareness happening. So it's a good place.
That's good.
Amazing. Let's kind of talk about your position on the field. So you're a midfielder. That's probably where we first met. Well,
I don't know. I'm probably smiling because I don't know. I want. There's other positions. Go on.
No, because literally that's kind of how we met. Like we were playing at LSUB. I was part of Independent at the time, and I think we beat you guys at Footscray. I don't know what the score was, but you was the one that was tackling, and you was, and literally, I think there was a lot of banter as well on the sideline. Yeah. With you and I think a couple of other players. But that's how we met, right? And then we went to the bar. I didn't know you. I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? Like, you played really, really well. And then, oh, thanks. And then that's how we are where we are now.
Yeah.
I would love to know, in your opinion, the demands of playing in midfield and what attributes you think someone needs to actually do that job efficiently.
Playing in midfield, so it's an ongoing moment on the pitch. I'd say, but to be kind to anyone that plays in any position, it never really stops in the midfield. I suppose that's what happens more than most positions. I would say, I don't know, I may get a backlash from that, from right backs or strikers or centre backs.
Definitely from centre backs.
No,
definitely from centre backs. Because you know that I'm the best centre back in the universe, right?
Man went from the league, the world, the universe.
While I was here, he said it.
In the tracksuit as well. No,
Yeah,
that tracksuit definitely doing a lot.
He's rubbing the badge.
Oh, no. It's like, that could be our next question to him.
They should have a show. Just to be honest, I'm not being disrespectful to the badge. Could mean a lot.
Yeah. Could.
No, it could.
Yeah.
We're just surprised.
We're surprised that I don't know.
Because he knows what the
it,
badge is because he's wearing it. But the midfield position is it's ongoing. It's evolving every minute, every second of the game. It's evolving. It's happening. It's always on the go. And I suppose over the years, teams see the midfield as, that old statement, the heartbeat of the team. I'm not saying I'm the heartbeat of the team or I play in the heartbeat, but that's the common phrase used.
Yeah, of course.
So with that common phrase, I would say that midfielders always have to have awareness of how the game's going, how their players are, how the opposition players are, the energy of the opposition players, what's the feel as the game's going on, who's low, who's playing well, how do we keep what's going right. It's constantly evolving, and again, I suppose every player would probably say that in their position, but I'm just talking position where I play. If you can make things happen, the midfield area is quite direct, isn't it? It's a 360 motion that's happening. So if you can get the midfield right, it's like a rib shot in boxing, I suppose. You can knock the wind out of your opposition. Yeah.
That's a good analogy, that is.
Thank you. I have many, but nerves are making the blocked.
It's cloudy, isn't it?
Yeah, so bear with me, bro.
Don't worry, man. It happens.
I'm an allergy guy. I've got loads. Yeah.
I mean, do you agree, Chris, in terms of like the kind of midfield as the heartbeat and the overused word energy of the team?
Well, yeah, because they usually say, innit, like they usually say games are won or lost in midfield. Well, I don't know how true that is, but you think about a lot of the game, it has to go through the midfield to get to certain places. Like I know sometimes we go on the outside of the pitch and low like down the sides and whatever, but majority of the time the midfield goes and gets from the back line. Then the midfielder has to now connect with either the winger.
Good midfielders.
Yeah, good midfielders. Sorry, have to go and connect. No, but they have to go and connect with the back line.
Yeah.
Then they have to connect with either the wingers or whatever. Then they have to connect with the forwards. Like they're the connectors of the team because they have to connect with the back line, the forward line, the rest of the pitch. So it is quite an important position because if you don't have the midfield right, usually you get overrun, you continually lose the ball turns over a lot, you're always on defence. There's only so many times your defenders can defend if you keep losing the ball in midfield. So, yeah, I would say it is definitely a big part. You know, defenders stop goals, strikers score goals. A lot of the time, how do the strikers score the goals? Majority of the time either from a midfielder, stroke winger or something like that. But how do they get there? By passing it through. So I'd agree it is quite a big position to play. You have to understand that sometimes there's a lot of pressure on that, especially if you
sometimes it can be nerve-wracking.
It can be nerve-wracking because if you make we always say I know goalkeepers will say, oh well, if I make a mistake it's my fault, or if the defenders make a mistake it's their fault because the goal's been conceded. But at the same time, if the midfielder's got the ball and they lose it and it now leads to a goal, technically it's their fault because they've had it first, they've lost it, now we've put our team under pressure and they've gone and scored. So I just see it as connectors. It's just connectors. They have to be a connector for majority of the pitch, which is quite important.
Yeah, I mean, when I say nerve-wracking, I feel like I'm hoping that I'm quite calm and collective when I play most of the time, but there are certain positions where you get it. Say you get it off your back line and stuff, where if you do lose it, the opposition can more or less be in.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and sometimes when you bounce it back to keep safe, or you should have turned, but you still got the ball, you bounced it back, you know, you might hear critiques on the pitch. But then sometimes you just think, what are you playing here? Like, it's spicy in here. Like, I suppose, but then again, to be kind, everyone will probably think that when they play, whatever position they play.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm just like, anyone that, go and try it.
Yeah.
Any striker, defender, winger, go and try it.
Well, it's quite a lot because you have to get up and down as well.
Yeah.
If you've got a defender that's a box-to-box defender, you're expecting midfielder to be a box-to-box midfielder. You're expecting a midfielder to go from the back, from there to there, but then once it breaks down to get back there. So it is quite a lot. You have to have a lot of, like energy, stamina. You have to be quite athletic.
Yeah.
Not saying you have to be athletic for the rest of the pitch, but I think that's one of the biggest places to be athletic because you're expected to do quite a lot of running, break up the play.
Yeah. Because actually, what I've found, and not only in Vets football but open age, probably Chris, you could probably allude to it more, is how the midfield player has now, people say evolved, but I would say changed from the likes of Zinedine Zidane, who was like an ultimate artist on the pitch, but like he kind of wasn't doing crazy amounts of distances per se, to now what we see now, where you are looking at athletes, box to box players, and now it's more about stats. And literally, I found with Hollington, you like guys are like a very, like, I'd say beautiful on the eye, technically gifted. It's kind of almost like a throwback. Same with LSU as well. Like, again, technically, like, brilliant on the eye. And literally, I just wonder if we are now gonna get the next wave of vets that are gonna be what we deem as athletes, that are just gonna be running up and down, and then the technical ability would have gone?
It depends, innit? Because coming from, like, I noticed the difference of coming from open age to playing in vets. There's not, depending on what level you play at in vets, you might not need to run so much due to the fact of some people may not want to run or cannot move as well because of just like our bodies can't allow it, and if they're not playing at a certain level before that. Well, remember the game's evolving anyway. The game's changing. So you look at like there's like the creative midfielders. People still have creative midfielders, but they're more energetic now. They have to get around the pitch. You have to break up the play as well as be creative. You have to be able to put a tackle in as well as be creative. So I think what's going to happen is that generation of footballers that do come into vets football, it could go two ways. They could still bring that style of play into vets football, or they could come into vets football and be like, I can now adjust and play a way that I want to have played. Remember, when you go to a team, you're drilled. You're like, right, we're going to play this way. I expect you to play this way week in, week out, because that's what I need from you for us to win stuff. When you go into vets football, people may go into vets football and think differently and think, well, I'm coming in now to play freely. So you might not obviously get the box to box, the overly running and stuff like that, because now I might come in a bit more on the ball, move the ball, you know what I mean? Because that's them having a breather from what they had to do for however many years they played. So it all depends on what we're going to see. You know what I mean? Like, some people have that mindset. Like I thought when I went into vets football that I can just do what I want. But then I realised, actually, no, it's quite competitive.
Yeah.
So it did change. So if that's coming from me, I don't know what's going to come from the next generation that's going to drop down. So that's possibly
good players will always always show up. Always not show up, because good players sometimes don't show up.
Yeah, of course.
In games, but if a good player shows up on game day, it will be seen.
Yeah.
In the game, it will show up. It will be seen. But when I came back into vets football, I realised, like you, Chris, and I suppose many people do, that I needed a certain level of fitness, because I thought I saw cigars and
walking football.
Yeah, this would be easy.
Yeah, I thought it was walking football.
And I saw everyone that used to play playing, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna need a gym membership.
And some of them are quite fit still.
Yeah.
So one of my tactics for vets football was to be, and some people in vets football played longer than me and higher than me. I didn't have an extended long career while playing football younger. I think I stopped when I was like 23, 24. But I didn't play again until I got back into vets. So some people in vets football played much higher for much longer, and I totally respect. I don't come back into vets like I'm one of the best players in vets football. I don't. But I realised that you need a certain level of fitness in vets, and I thought to myself, where I spent so much time out of the game, if I can be fitter than most, then at least I can either keep up with the better players that I know of, or I can start to do what my head wants me to do, and I don't have to tussle or having that fight. So that was one of my main focuses, and it still is to this day, that I want to be, when it comes to vets football, I want to try to be fitter than most, and that takes a lot. It takes running, it takes training, outside
discipline, man.
Outside of football.
Do you see yourself as a future captain?
Yes, of course, I do. I say that with no ego, and also no thought, because I do. Yeah, I do. I think I'll be good. I feel I'll be good. I feel, because I work with people, that's the line of work that I'm in. It's not, I think captains do not necessarily have to be the best player on the pitch, but I think they have to have a quality about them that has nothing to do with football, and I feel like I have those capabilities. So yeah, I do, in the future, or now. No, I can't be. Obviously, Dre's our captain. Shout out, Dre.
Man like Dre.
Yeah, he's a top captain as well. But
To be fair, he is.
yeah, he's top captain.
He is.
But yeah, in the future, wherever I go, or manager, I would like to be a football manager one day. Yeah, it's one of my secret passions actually, to be a manager.
Social media. How has social media shaped you as a person?
None at all. I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't do it. I don't really enjoy this either. As some aspects, and that's me being honest and also showing my vulnerabilities. I only have an Instagram account. I don't have any photos on it. It's not in my. When I say it's not in my name,
So then,
it's my name, but it's not. I have an Instagram account. I don't have anything else.
but why? But okay. So a question to you: you've got an Instagram account, but there's no pictures. But why have an Instagram account?
Because when I first got it, you know, I'm just following the trend of social media, and I didn't really enjoy it. Are you allowed to say names anyway? Is it
What names of like?
social media accounts?
Yeah, you can say Instagram.
I'm assuming so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Instagram.
He knows more.
But can you say that if you don't like
Instagram? Yeah.
particular ones, other ones?
Say what you want.
I said the other ones, the other ones that are out there. I didn't really take to them.
This is his non-controversy.
You know what, there's a part of me that's just like, shh, don't be controversial. So like the other ones, I would never really liked anyway. All of the other ones. So Instagram was the only one, and when I first had it, it was because I just didn't like the rest of them, and I only still have that one now, and I kept it over the years. It's evolved, I suppose, with my journey. So now there's the stuff that I watch that helps me with my work and helps me with family and helps with, you know, training and gym, because I'm nowhere where I feel like I want to be in my life, fitness wise and things like that. So there's all that kind of threads and, you know, algorithms and stuff like that. But in terms of promoting what I do or anything like that, no. And I don't know, we've had this conversation outside of this show a few times, and I've had a conversation a few times with people about, you know, the power of social media and what it can do for, you know, your work and your career and, you know, your influence and stuff like that. But then, well, I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it too deep, or maybe it's just a deeper level. I don't know which one yet. But I don't know, when you think about faith and stuff like that, or spirituality that people follow, you know, Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, we can go on and on and on. You know, that didn't start on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, did it? You had to go out and find that source, and they're more powerful than any Instagram thread or any TikTok thread or anything. So that's where I base my work from. That's where I do what I do from, that place of, you know, look, that my journey and what I do has got me here in front of you guys, not my social media,
Yeah, it's true.
not how much I post, not how many followers I have, not how many awards I've got and stuff like that. Like you guys have asked me to come on the show because we've met again along this journey of life, and you've asked me to come on the show because of certain, use that word again, energies and stuff like that. But and then you've asked me to come on the show. So it works. It works in some format. And that's no blue tick, or that's no certain thousand followers. That's not me posting every day. That's not. Yeah. Plus, I don't know how to work the bloody. I'm the worst.
So how do you navigate social media with your family?
What do you mean?
With your partner and your kids?
Well, anyone that has a partner, I don't think you can tell them much about
but
they do with their social media accounts.
Yeah, but true. But okay. So let's say with your kids now, you know, it's how a lot of that generation communicates. Because I've had that conversation with like a lot of people, and social media has kind of got me into amazing opportunities, 100%. And I believe you can use social media for the greater good, and you can highlight people's journeys, people's careers, and can literally put people on a kind of pedestal, so they can shout from so they can shout from the rooftops what they're doing. And actually, I think that's what social media has done for me, and it's kind of done for a lot of other people. But also as well, you know, you might have young kids, anyone that's kind of watching, and trying to navigate all of the other hazards with social media. You know, it can be a very daunting place, right?
Yeah, it can. But this is why people like you exist.
And Chris.
But when it comes to if our conversations that we've had outside of the show evolve and happen, then you will become the account holder of the work that, if it happens, evolves on the social media. I mean, social media, you're right, can be a powerful thing, and it's a powerful tool. I just haven't got my mind around it yet. I'm probably not there yet, if that makes sense. That's all. I'm just probably not there. I don't like using that word. I don't have the time, because you always have the time for passions that are right. You will always find the time. I'm just not passionate about it yet, probably because I don't know how to navigate it fully yet. And also, but when I think about it and I'm answering this question, I probably have some fear around it, that maybe I'm not good enough yet. If I'm honest, the more I talk, the more I can feel that coming through. Maybe I just don't feel I'm good enough yet. Or that probably right, because I'm getting a little bit emotional when I say that. So that's one of my biggest battles, not feeling good enough, or thinking that I'm not good enough to create a social media platform to deliver this type of stuff and reach out to people. So maybe that's the main reason when I settle with that answer. So
I guess like that.
Yeah, because like Chris, like you've like got an amazing coaching experience and coaching knowledge, and you have a social media platform, which I keep saying to you, you've got to post, bro, because people need to hear your message more.
But again, it's like what Smudge is saying. I think one of my biggest setbacks is that I don't have the confidence for it. So I've got social media. If I look, I actually looked at mine the other day actually, and I go on Twitter sometimes, and Facebook I rarely ever use. My stuff only posted to Facebook because of my Insta is connected to Facebook, so that's the only reason why I post onto Facebook. Like if I was to go and delete my Facebook tomorrow, it wouldn't bother me because I never post on it.
Sorry, Facebook.
Not really.
I thought this is what they watch it. They'll be like, they come in like fee. He's promote us.
It is what it is.
That's how it works.
But yeah, like when I looked at my normal Insta account, and I was like, I was quite surprised I haven't posted much. I posted quite a few, posted maybe a few stories or whatever, but actual posts, I was like, I don't post a lot. So I was like, okay, maybe look at maybe just posting some random stuff or whatever. But then when I go back to my coaching one, you're right. I've looked at my phone. I've got loads of videos that I've created, or loads of videos from coaching, like sessions and stuff like that. And I think to myself, I need to post them. But again, it's like, do I think I'm good enough? Do I feel like that? Listen, likes and all that. I don't care. That's not something I feed off. I don't look at it and go, oh man, I don't get enough likes, or I don't do enough of this. Like that. That's not something that drives me. Because if that was something that drove me, I'd be posting every day. It clearly doesn't drive me. It's not. My aim is to just one is to hopefully put out what I do, and hopefully people look and think, oh, okay, he's quite good at what he does. Two, it's to promote the young people that I work with. That's one of my biggest aims, is that it's promoting the young people that I coach. So it's putting them out there and letting them shine more than myself, because you work with so many good people, i.e. parents, i.e. players and stuff like that, and it's sometimes they don't get the recognition or don't get seen enough. So it's more about promoting them more than myself majority of the time. Again, maybe that's a confidence thing. Maybe that's an insecurity where it's like, is that me saying that to take away the fear of, if it doesn't go right, at least it's not me. You know what I mean? It's not my fault that it didn't go right. It's at least it's promoting them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like it for me, it's helped because social media has helped build my brand per se of what I do. So yeah, it has done well for me. But then I sometimes look at things like I can't go on Twitter for too long. Twitter is one of the things that pulls me down into a negative state because there's so much negativity on there. That's I can't go on that for too long. But with Instagram and stuff like that, I don't mind because it's maybe due to the algorithm. It brings up stuff that I kind of don't mind watching. But I guess the more I've been doing things like this, the more I've been posting, the confidence is kind of growing slightly. I posted 2 videos in the last week or so, which I would never have done before. So now it's like, okay, let's just get them out there. Just get it out there. Like I said, don't care about the views. Well, I want people to see it, but I don't care about the likes, the comments. That don't really drive what I post it for. It's just so I can put out there what I see and what I do, and hopefully people can relate to it, or and see what goes on.
You see, what you talk about is, Chris, is the awareness. See, you started after a while talking about the awareness of yourself as to the whys you don't post, or the whys. That's all the awareness part. But and I think even when you speak, you probably know this journey that you may need to go on around social media and posting more, the more you talk about it, because the more you become aware of it, and the best thing to fight that is to just do.
Yeah, 100%.
Part of me, there's part of me that didn't want to come today. Like, obviously, I feel like it's gone now because I'm in the moment and we're here, we're doing this. But when I was at home watching a game, there's part of me that doesn't want to come, and you start the awareness of it. Like, why don't I want to come? And then there's some anxiety, so there's start to get anxious. Okay, so why am I anxious? And normally anxious is either fear or anger. This because it's in the future, something about the future. So okay, there's 2 things wrapped up with the anxiousness. Okay, there's fear and anger. Okay, what are they? So the fear would be to say, am I good enough to speak about this? Am I good enough to, do people know what I done yesterday? Like, all of this stuff. I didn't do nothing yesterday. All of this stuff plays.
Yeah.
That's the fear. And then the anger part would be something like, I don't want this will go out on YouTube, and then there's certain people that I may not want to hear me or to see this or to know snippets of me or vulnerable parts of me. There's some people to this day that I don't want them to hear about my journey and see me in this way, because of certain things that happened in my past. That's the anger part. And then once I do the awareness of it, why I don't want to come today, then you just come, because then you're winning. As I'm sitting here, I'm winning.
Yeah, 100%.
Because when I look at your social media, I don't think Tabriz has what you have or what we may have as much, but I'm sure there's some of it. Is this good enough, or an editing? But just because you spoke about it, Chris, it's just the post. Because when I see your thing, it does make me smile. It's like, oh, there's my guy. There's Chris posting, he's doing good work. There's only but good energy when I see Chris post, or when I see you post. It's only that. It's not like, who does he think he is? Or that was rubbish. Or this never come up. It's always been good stuff when I see you post. So it's about yourself on that posting journey or that social media journey, because everyone thinks it's a journey of everything. It's not. It's snippets. It's different journeys of different things. Yeah. Okay, why am I not doing this? What's happening for me? Why do I feel like that? Okay, let me go on that. And you realise it's nothing to do with social media.
It's more yourself.
It's absolutely nothing to do. It's probably something that happened way back. Way back.
I think a lot of people, and actually this is talking about my own experiences, and I find it, honestly, I genuinely do find it hilarious when I get messages. I get a lot of DMs through all social media platforms. And again, it's kind of one of those things when
I didn't hit it properly. So silly.
no, but and I want to kind of try and keep this as short as possible. When people see me post on social media, on whatever platforms, as you said before, it's a snippet of a 24-hour journey of my life, or whatever it is, or actually what I've been doing that particular day, week, or year. I'd say a lot of my content is content that I've already done, events that I've already been to. And again, it's just to spread positivity to like other people to say, wow, if Teresa's doing it, then I can do it. But also, I create social media content to connect with people offline. So let me repeat that to people out there. I create social media content to meet people offline, because offline is where you will literally get the authentic communication. That's how you and I met, Chris. That's how, like, you and I met, Smudge. And 99% of the people who have influenced my life doing social media, I've met offline, and the sorry, like, I'm going to keep using the word energy, but it's been immense, and that's why I've had the opportunities that I have.
Yeah.
So when like people post, or literally when like people comment on my posts, and like, trust me when I say, like, there's like positive, but also there's negative, constructive criticism. I just, I kind of have to thank them, because they've watched my show, they've watched, and they've told me something about what they didn't like about a show, and they've told me about, cool, I appreciate that. What can I do better to make your experience better? And then myself and Chris, or whoever it is, we have a talk about it offline, because that's where the magic happens.
But it's more of a case of what could you do to make your own experience better, because the negatives, not the negative comments or stuff, just negatives are quite unnecessary. They're actually necessary.
They're very,
because then it creates balance.
100%.
Because then if you have balance, then you kind of normally doing something right.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
If everything's great, you kind of have to look at that and think, hold on, why is there no... I'm not saying it has to come with negatives, but if there are negatives, then you're kind of doing the right thing.
Especially when they're constructive. Because...
Or deconstructive, because deconstructive negatives are not yours. They may not be yours, they may just be them.
But like if someone says, oh, Tarisha's show was shit. Huh, okay. Can you like
But
give
there's
me...
no context.
Exactly. So then literally I kind of go back to them and say, can you timeline, can you timestamp where you think the show was shit?
Yeah.
And then they don't get back to me.
No.
I know the whole thing.
No, but that goes back to what Smudge is saying though. So that doesn't necessarily falls on you. If they're saying that but can't come with an actual timestamp of what it is, it could just be something that's going through them, and their natural reaction is to that was not good enough. So then we're going to do that. So that's one thing that I'm still learning about. Like, I was very hard on myself about criticism. Someone criticised me. Why? And it would eat me up. Where it's only as my journey's, I keep saying journey, it's only as my life and I've grown as an adult, as a person, as a man, that I've learnt that criticism comes with learning curves. It took me a long time to understand that you never lose, you learn. So now, whenever something goes wrong for me, it's not it went wrong, it's okay, what can I do better? Okay, how can I make that better? How can I now be better for myself? Where before, if something went wrong, I wouldn't look at it like that. I'd just be down because it went wrong. Something didn't work. Where now, I've learned a lot within myself that even with the constructive, non-constructive criticism, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to take that away, because now I'm going to try and make sure that doesn't happen. Or no, try my best to make sure that I can learn on that, or I can adjust to that. Do you get what I mean? Like, we're always learning in everything we do. Everything we do in our day-to-day life, whether it be football, whether it be work, whether it be just sitting there talking, doing this, we're always learning. Do you get what I mean? And that's something that I've had to take away within the 39 years of my life, that it's taken a long time for me to realise that's something that I've learned to do within myself. And, that's one thing I was worried about, the comments. I was always worried about, but what's people going to say? What do people think? I always worried about what people thought. Always.
Well, to reflect it back to you two, because you two have social media accounts and you post, I would say next time you post, see how you're feeling and where you're at and why you post in that moment. Because a lot of people post and it's really a reflection of how they feel
To feel better.
Yeah.
in that moment,
100%.
in their own life.
Yeah. Facts.
Makes sense?
So going back to that, I posted my first video
Yeah.
because I didn't feel good about me not posting anything before. So that was one of the reasons. So when you go back to that was one of the reasons why I posted the first one, because I was like, I haven't posted enough. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
Let me find something
So
to post.
it came out of a heavy-ish, over here kind of place in you, and you ended up posting. And that's probably why I'm not necessarily ready to be doing with that.
Yeah, I get it.
You understand? Because like I said, a lot of people haven't thought about that. A lot of people post stuff, and it's normally just a reflection of how they feel in their life at that moment. You're not really getting that video. Yes, you are getting that video, but you're getting how they feel in that today, in that moment.
You're just getting what the video is.
The video is the video.
Yeah,
the video is the
video
context.
is-
But
yeah.
really, it comes with how they feel in that moment in their life.
And they could be
on that day.
feeling. They could be feeling not great. But
Or they
that
could be
video
feeling on
demonstrates-
top of the world.
Yeah.
And that's why you're doing it.
Yeah, true.
So what happens when you don't feel on top of the world? You're not going to post?
Yeah.
Or,
Or
you know what I'm saying?
or post less.
Are you because you've got loads of followers now? All of a sudden, are you posting for followers because you've got all of these followers and you got more great comments than negative comments, and that's why you see.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not really there yet with it all.
Yeah.
I get it.
I just don't care about it. I don't care about
Yeah.
who's got this or who's got that. Like I said, I meet people through my day-to-day job. I meet people naturally. There's a natural occurrence sometimes that just happens with what I'm doing, and the work that I do, and the work that I do in myself. And like I said, the more you go inwards, the more it will reflect outwards. So if I'm doing more work inwards, more stuff naturally should happen
Yeah, 100%.
outwards.
I get.
So that's just where I'm at with social media. Love that.
Men's mental health. How important is it to you?
To my own, or for people to find if they need it within themselves?
However you want to narrate.
I think mental health is important. Unfortunately, it's been distorted and maybe diluted. Robinson's dilute over the years. You had two people here a little while back that when that question was raised in the room, they didn't. You know, there was mixed views, and that's perfect, because that's okay, because it creates the balance. I feel like it's only important to the person if they feel they need to find it for themselves, because you cannot give someone hope. They have to find it themselves inwards, and then you can attach yourself to their journey in them finding it, if that makes sense. You can't give anything to anyone when it comes to that. They have to go inwards first. And what I mean by that is, if you find yourself in a conversation with someone about mental health, it's because they found something within themselves first before the conversation. And that's why you all of a sudden are in this conversation about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people want hope right now. So it's hard times, but there's no hope in external things. Hope is all internal. Once you find it internally, you can then join them on their journey of finding hope. I feel like it's important. If you ask me that question directly, I feel like it's very important. But how important, that's up to the person. I hope hope that answers the question. That's up to the person and how important it is for them.
And listen, it's opinions. Everyone's opinion is different, man.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's spot on.
Yeah, I think I kind of genuinely believe that, that you got to help yourself and actually make sure that you are internally in a good place before taking on anyone else's. I'd say not baggage, but journey as well. We are like of a generation where we have been given a lot of stuff. And again, it's only now getting like into like a certain generation and like a certain age where a lot of people may have gone through certain things, and again, exactly what you said before, externally everything looks okay, but internally they are struggling. They are feeling like a certain way, and unless they are willing to kind of talk to you about it, in like whatever space that they feel comfortable in, then I think it's always going to be a taboo subject. And literally, we've kind of spoken about this on numerous occasions on this platform, and the whole progression from being a predominantly football platform now having influential men like yourself. For me, it's really, really important because as you said before, football is just a 90-minute game or 120 minutes. But what's going on behind closed doors? What's kind of going off? What's kind of going on when you leave the changing room? When you can on your way home to your family, to your spouse, whatever it is. But yeah, I think it's something that hopefully people will feel comfortable talking about. But also they've got to speak to the right people and literally make sure that, that person that you're speaking to not necessarily understands what you're going through, but can also signpost and kind of hopefully just advise you what to do and where to go if you're feeling a certain way. Because there's certain conversations that I've had with people where we're talking about the S word. Do you know what the S word I'm looking?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Do you need to tell me with camera what that?
No, like the S word.
What's the S word?
It sounds it rhymes with
It rhymes, but then everyone's gonna know what the word is.
Lewiside.
Oh yes. Stupid. Sorry. It's Sunday. It's late.
It's Sunday. It's yeah. And literally once I've had that, once they start talking to me about things like that, I stop the conversation straight away.
Why?
Because
you're not able to sit with that.
Oh, literally, like we can talk, but the moment they're talking about Lewiside, brother, you gotta call this number.
Okay.
Bro, like
no, I get that. I was a bit unkind when I said that.
Yeah, literally. Now I cannot come off the phone not telling you the people who have hopefully the kind of professional know-how for you to get through whatever you're going through. And literally it could have just been a thought, but a thought can also lead to actions in certain situations.
I see it, hear it, sit with it, week in, week out in my work. I could openly share that. Obviously, I can't overshare.
No.
Yeah. Some of clients' work and stuff. But I've sat in rooms up to like a month ago. I'm not thinking of anyone particular because I'm trying not to, because that would be unfair. But yeah, I've sat in rooms with someone who's spoken about that, and you but you're trained and you train and you study and you sit with more experienced people who taught you things and be able to sit with that information and stuff like that. And a lot of the time, a lot of people don't actually want that action. They don't want that situation for themselves. They want to get rid of something within them. Does that make sense? But without without being able to sit with the right person with that information, they feel like the only thing they're able to do is that. But really, it's something within them that they're trying to get rid of. They just don't know how to get rid of that part of it. So they just feel like all of it needs to go. So once I got taught that and learnt it and sat with it and sat with people more knowledgeable with me than me with that, when I first started this career path and stuff, yeah, it was like, whoa. Because friends and family are not used to that. They're not used to those stories, those sitting with that stuff. It can be heavy. It can be heavy for the person receiving it. So yeah, now that I'm here and doing what I do, yeah, I can sit with it. I can sit with it because also I understand it. I have a lived experience of a situation like that. You know, when I didn't want to be here, and my attempts and stuff like that. Yeah, but I didn't. Like I said, if I was to relate it to my own experience, in that I didn't want to go, but something in me felt like I couldn't be here doing this, but I didn't want to go. So it's like, how do I,
manage the both?
How do you manage the both? And you know, that's how my faith grew and stuff like that to this day, because I look back on it and I'm like, okay, why me? How come I'm still here? How did I? And it could only be divine power or some form of divine power. I mean, I have my faith system. I don't need to overshare what I'm into and what I believe in and stuff like that. But, you know, because none of my human entities could help me at that time. None. And I have some very, very good people wrapped around me. Very good people. But none of my human people could help me at that time.
Yeah.
I'm able to still be here, you know, years after that situation. So, yeah, I'm able to sit with that. I'm able to sit with that. And again, it doesn't mean I have the answers to it. Because some people, not that I've necessarily sat with, but there are some people in life that have gone on to then do the act for themselves. And, you know, I don't know what the answer is, because I've never been able to meet them in the afterlife and ask them questions as to why, what happened, and why and stuff. I only meet the people
in the moment.
When they're having that, you know.
What does the future hold for you, David?
I think about it, there's a lot of stress. A lot of stress trying to get all of this stuff out. What does the future hold? More of trying to know myself, man. That is the most difficult journey ever. Like, just more of knowing myself, but also at the same time, this is gonna sound weird, less of knowing myself and just knowing that I'm enough. You know, that's a weird thing to say, but I hope you get it.
No,
I get it.
I get
Like, the least I can think about myself, the more I am present and just being.
Yeah.
So it's just like that. Like, how the like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
how do you
Like,
deal
the
with it,
fuck
yeah.
is that, bro? Do you know what I mean? Factually and stuff, what does the future hold? So we've spoken. There's things that I want to get off the ground next year. I don't like using this word for some reason. I don't know.
Energy.
No, not that. It's another word, like business.
Energy business.
Yeah. Whoa, seriously. But there are certain things that I want to make happen that I would say so to rewrite the word business for myself. And maybe that's just been distorted because of social media and people, I suppose. But I want to create something that I'm in charge of, that I'm in control of, and that's no ego based, just so, because then I know the vision and I know what can go right, what it would look like, and also I can take the weight of if things go wrong and take that away from people. I feel like that lands softer than saying I want to have a business. You know, because that's probably another buzzword that's been out there for years. And good and respect to people that got their own stuff, their own businesses going on. It's not disrespect. I'm not disrespecting that word or nothing. Just for me. So yeah, I want to create something that I'm like the captain of, the manager of, and it's ultimately to help someone else. You know that you hear that word about as long as I help one person, yeah, well, you have. What about helping more? So, I don't want to help just one person. I have helped one person. I believe I have. I want to help more, and it's not because out of any desperate need to help people. I just feel like I'm not the only one. I'm surely not the only one that's managed to get through certain things that I've been able to get through. I can't be the only one to do it.
No.
So if I'm not, let's go and help them. Let's go and do that. So that's a factual what I want to do for next year. We've spoken about certain things that Nini landed last year. Obviously, sending prayers that we can reconnect those things, which I'm tempted to say what we nearly had off the ground. But speak, I'll tell you after.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, it was quite big, but we still have his number. We still have his number.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
I wasn't ready at the time. I wasn't ready. I still had a lot of fear. I still had a lot of anxiety. I still didn't know if I was good enough. And the more I'm learning, because I'm still learning and studying, the more I'm fighting the fear. So hopefully I've still got his number. I'm sure you have. We can revisit that. But so that's something for next year. That's what the future holds.
Hollington winning the league.
Oh yeah. Back to football.
Why not?
What?
Why not?
Why not?
Oh, is that what he's?
I don't know if he's trying to do.
No, literally, because
why not?
no, that's what I'm saying. Like Hollington winning the league, that like must be
Is that aim? It's definitely an aim, no?
it's not the aim; it's the objective.
What's the difference?
Isn't it? What is the difference? Aim and objective.
Yeah,
Same
but-
thing, no?
Yeah, but like you can, you can aim everywhere, but the objective is like
But the objective,
Okay.
but the objective could be that you're definitely going to do it. Where the aim is, we know there's still good teams in the league that can be effective in any aspect. So the aim is, because remember there's still hurdles that have to be overcome. So with the aim, you still have to get there. So that's the difference.
But like,
But I think with an objective, you kind of have no. But am I right? Correct me if I'm wrong. With an objective, the objective is kind of like that's going to happen. You're right, it's there, but at the same time, the objective is I'm going to do the objective because that's there. Where with the aim, we know that there's other factors that can play a part. So we're still aiming to get to that.
yep.
Yeah, from what I know with Holland, certain things I've never experienced in any other vets team that I've experienced at Holland, they just do it right. Like Morris, C, Scott,
Yeah, they're on it.
Leon,
They're on it.
Tipper, Owen Teach, shout out Teach.
Yeah, man, like teach.
Yeah, when I joined, they'd got certain things I'm not going to share because
Of course.
it would, I would be letting out what
100%.
those guys do right that I haven't experienced at another club. Like they've got certain things really right, and that really works. That would even work for like a non-league team and stuff like that.
Definitely, yeah.
It really works for a vets team. I was kind of like, whoa. And yeah, I think you saw it at the start of the season with that energy flow into our games and the results and stuff. But naturally, we had a moment, those 2 losses and stuff, where things were creeping in. But you deal with it.
That's football, man.
People deal with stuff.
Yeah. And that's
Like,
football.
You just deal with it.
That's going to happen in football.
Yeah, you just deal with it in house, and nothing needed to be dealt with. There was no issues, but you could feel something coming in, creeping in, and we just spoke about it. And as you see from the results, from the result of Bow Street, it looked like it got ironed out. Like, see what I'm saying? So we'll wait and see to our next game. And feel it out and see what's there, and if there's a bit of it creeping in and where, then we just
Let's get done.
there's good people there. We'll iron it out and move. You know what I'm saying? So the aim is to win the next game.
That's it.
That's a professional.
How about
That's
It's to win the next
Take
game.
every game as it comes.
You guys are so media trained, man. It's disgusting. Absolutely
Win the
disgusting.
next game.
That's it.
No, cool. Smudge, thank you like so much. Actually, before Chris, anything that you want to say?
No, listen, it's a pleasure, man. But we're just grateful that you come in, come and see us, have a chat with us. So, it's always a pleasure. Like, so yeah, we're just grateful. Thank you so much, man.
Perfect ending.